In this box, I have one of my all-time favorite above the rim Reebok models. They came out back in 1995. And obviously this one is also designed by the one and only E.Scott Morris. And today we're gonna check it out and see some of the details and why I consider this to be one of the best models at the time. Hey guys, welcome back to a Kicks Reasons channel. And today we're looking at the Reebok above the rim Insta Pump Boom. This is one of my all-time favorite sneakers, like I said, from above the rim line, and one of the best basketball shoes released at the time. And if you watch the NBA season 95-96, you probably noticed a ton of players had these on their feet. Multiple colorways were created, and by the words of the creator, E.Scott Morris, I had a chance to talk to him or message him. I guess we swapped messages maybe a few years ago talking about this model. I was asking him about details about it, and he said he was given a lot of creative freedom with this model to create all kinds of colorways, all kinds of color blocking. That's why we have this beautiful black, white, and purple colorway. And if you look at those games back in the day, like I mentioned, pretty much any colorway was created to match the uniforms of the NBA players, also college players. But the most popular ones, we had the black and white, all black and white, obviously just two colors at the time colorway. There was another one very popular, the white and blue. That one actually is the first one I saw in stores, and unfortunately I've been chasing for many years. And actually this right here is the very first pair of the Insta Pump Boom that I have in my possession. I have to handle these with extreme care, and unfortunately we're not going to have an on-feet section today because the midsole of this shoe is entirely made of polyurethane, and over time it cracks and crumbles and completely dissolves itself. And you're going to see them on the details how bad of a shape these are. They're cracked all through and through, and if you touch the polyurethane, it's kind of a sticky. What I'm thinking is those were probably not held in the best conditions, despite the fact that they were worn. But again, no matter what kind of conditions you have, polyurethane will age absolutely poorly, and it's gonna happen to it like this and leaves this kind of a black paint if you touch it with your bare hands and not gloves. That's why you see a lot of content creators handle old shoes with rubber gloves just for that specific reason. But there's so many things to talk about this shoe, and I absolutely love the detail and everything that kind of combines the design language of E.Scott Morris over the years was kind of poured into this model. There were so many great things to mention here, but the first and foremost is the technology. This was one of the most highly technology implemented shoes in the Reebok above the rim line at the time. We have Ultra Hexalite on the heel, Hexalite on the forefoot, and thin chamber midfoot section Insta Pump bladder. What is the thin chamber is around 1995. Reebok moved away from the thicker thongs that had this basketball style pump or other sports style pump that was much bigger, to the one that it's resembling the Insta Pump Fury, which is a much smaller pump. It just says Insta Pump on top of it. Obviously it has the Insta Pump inflator. But the chamber itself, or the thong itself, is just two pieces of fabric that are housing in between the actual pump chamber, making it very thin. Maybe they were trying to shave some weight off the shoe, or make it feel a little bit more custom fitting when you're inflating that chamber. And right on top of it, from the left side or medial and lateral side of the shoe, we have a rubber band that was connecting both. So in other words, you didn't really need to tie these shoes very tightly if you wear them casually, because that rubber piece was helping a lot keeping them together. And of course, color combinations and material combinations. We had synthetic nubuck like this one with combination with synthetic leather. We had other versions that were entirely synthetic leathers, a lot other versions that were entirely synthetic nubuck. As far as I'm aware, I don't think this model was ever released with anything genuine, but that's not a problem at all. Of course, we have a signature above the rim pull tab on the back, Reebok, and both. A lot of medial side vectors were my perfect size, and I'm referring as my perfect size because they were not huge. At the same time, they were not the tiniest, but they were very classy made, kind of towards the back of the shoe. Again, always reminding me of a speedboat for some reason. And the gradual progression from where your toes are all the way to the heel. Again, the midsole is expanding upwards. Actual stitching in the front. And For the first time, when I picked up the shoe in the store back in the day, I noticed immediately the covered Ultra Hexalite in the heel. This was one of the best things, and you can kind of peek through the translucent rubber of the cover, which had the Vector logo on top of it. You can peek through and see the Ultra Hexalite, and the Hexalite on the forefoot, which was larger piece, was not covered at all. But I was mesmerized by that idea because I thought it would have been perfect if they did this on every single model, preventing that Hexalite being punctured of any kind, you stepping on the street or anything sharp. So that was a great idea, but unfortunately not implemented in tons of models, just few. Some of them that I'm aware, some of them I'm sure I'm probably not aware, but as far as I'm aware as well, this particular midsole outsole tooling was not replicated or was not used in any other model across the Reebok line. So that was kind of a one and done. I'm not sure, maybe because it was too expensive to implement. One of the reasons using polyurethane at the time probably was the fact that we have Hexalite in the forefoot and in the heel, and it's a little bit more difficult to implement this kind of setup with EVA midsole. Regardless, I absolutely love this shoe. Tons of padding on the heel, and this specific fabric on the inner liner is so reminiscent to the time. Pretty much every basketball shoe from Reebok had that exact same fabric, starting from the Kamikaze one that I've noticed for the first time. Love that specific one. And these are made in Thailand in 1995, August. Very signature double heel cup over here. A lot of the models created by E.Scott Morris had that exact feature, especially those that were produced at the time. And this was one of the more kind of a rare colorways, the black, white, and purple. Absolutely love that one. Any colorway from this shoe is incredible, has its uniqueness, and I wish that I had a wearable pair. I wish I can transfer back in time and buy these, because I remember them in stores, picking them up, checking them out. Never had the chance to buy one. They were very expensive for me at the time, was not able to afford them, but now at least I finally have this pair that is kind of a display pair. Again, not going to be able to wear these. They're going to fall apart immediately, and I'm gonna have to find a way to actually preserve them this way and put them on the shelf behind me, maybe for the first time vacuum seal them so that pieces of this deteriorating polyurethane is not crumbling and just going all over the place, staining my carpets and everything else. But regardless, great find for me, you know, super cheap on eBay. Wanted to grab a pair and show it to you. Always wanted to have one of those in my collection. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of the other videos coming very, very soon. And as always, guys, you have a wonderful day.